Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Mountain Arts Center in Prestonsburg is hosting a benefit concert for Black Jewel miners. And in Perry County, volunteers from the Hope House gave out food to help make sure the area's homeless are fed while the shelter is closed. Plus, the newly renovated Corbin Elementary School was in full swing for the start of a new school year this week.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. It is 6:02 on Tuesday, August the 20th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. It's going to be a warm and muggy one today, but there is relief in sight. Just the question is how much rain will we get and when will we get it? Brandon's peering into his prompter right now to see if he can find it. Brandon, have any luck?
There's some relief down that way somewhere. Okay. But yeah, we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But this morning, let's talk about current conditions. And you can see the last 6 hours of the satellite radar loop. Not much going on here at home, but to our north, we're seeing some showers and storms up into parts of Indiana and over toward West Virginia there, Parkersburg. And we're going to continue to see some fog issues this morning. 2 miles at Moorhead, 5 miles at Harlan. Those are the areas most at risk. So be careful there. Patchy dense fog across the region. Temperatures closer to 70 now across the board. Some upper 60s in some locations. 67, actually 66 in Jonesville, now the cool spot. 74 in Ashland, the warm spot across the state. 74 Paducah, 80 in Louisville this morning because of all of the concrete and pavement up that way. 71 in Charleston, 65 in the Tri-Cities. Planner for today, we are going to see temperatures climb into the 90s once again, and maybe we'll get close to some of those records that we got close to yesterday. I'll have more on that and talk about the chances for showers and storms that could be strong later on in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, yesterday marked week 4 of Black Jewel protests in Harlan County, and they don't plan to leave anytime soon. WYMT's Madison Pergram was at the tracks yesterday and brings us more.
As the sun beams down in Cumberland,
it's pretty extreme hot.
The Black Jewel protest enters the 4th week along the railroad tracks.
You know, at times we kind of just got to sit underneath tents and stuff like that and just cool down, drink some water, Gatorade.
For Jeff Willig, Chris Rowe, and other miners, the heat does not distract them from their mission.
It's hot, and you know we're all ready to go home, hoping to get some resolution to it. But you know our thoughts are still the same. You know we're standing for what we've earned.
A mission supported by many.
It's the biggest thing that keeps us going is the support from everybody, and we've received so much of it. We've got a crew come in that has been here since like day 2.
Lil and Nico are part of a crew that's shown support since the start.
Well, I'm just here to encourage these miners and their families to keep it up.
Despite not being related to Black Jewel miners, it's still personal.
I have a personal connection to this place and the people here. You know what I mean? This is my home. It's the only home I've ever known.
A connection beyond just fellow community members.
I just made a commitment to them that I'm going to stay here until the last one of them is here.
All with the same goal in mind, be paid what they are owed.
Like I said, we're taking baby steps, but we're getting to where we want to go.
And provided answers after being left months in the dark.
There's definitely light.
In Harlan County, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Black Jewel miners say they still plan on staying at the tracks for however long it takes to get what they deserve. Meanwhile, it looks like the Harlan County school system might have to refund Black Jewel $73,000. The Herald Leader reports that Revelation Energy, which is under Black Jewel's umbrella, overpaid a utility tax. Despite being behind on other taxes that should have went to the school system, the state is asking district officials to refund the $73,000. The Mountain Arts Center in Prestonsburg is hosting a benefit concert Sunday. All of the proceeds will go to the Black Jewel miners and their families. 6 bands and artists will be there, including Nick Jamerson and Waylon Nelson. Joe Campbell with the MAC says officials there just wanted to help.
We thought it was time to reach out and try to help these miners and their families. It's a tough situation. Nobody wants to go through, I'm sure. So we're here for music, and we want to try to help with a nice concert.
Tickets are $15. Music will begin at 4 in the afternoon. We will be live streaming the concert on our website and on our second channel heroes and icons. The East Kentucky House of Hope has been operating in Martin since March. The mission of the house is to serve people in the community who are homeless or in need. In the months since its opening, those involved with the house say the community was more than supportive. That support comes in many forms: cooking hot meals for those staying in the home, donating non-perishable and clothing, and offering jobs to help them get back on their feet. Jessica Burke works at the shelter and says she feels like the community truly cares about the mission of the House of Hope.
I've never seen such caring people in my whole life, especially the community here in Martin.
Burke says the outreach has come from churches, restaurants, and law enforcement officers from across the region. A free meal for the homeless. Last night in downtown Hazard, volunteers from the Hope House gave out food at the pavilion next to City Hall. Volunteers told us they want to make sure the homeless are still getting meals after the Hope House shut down. WYMT's Emily Bennett has the details.
Devastation. That's what the staff of the Hope House felt after being told they had to shut down.
Every night you're wondering if people are still eating and where they're sleeping, and that has a way of haunting you.
Wanting to find a way to still help.
That's this main goal, showing people that we still care, that people do have a heart, no matter what.
Rashawn Murphy and Bessie Hughes volunteered at the Hope House from day one and wanted to make sure they still have what they need.
I just want to make sure these people have some sort of substance in their stomach. You know, it may be just chips and a hot dog, but it's food.
They know what it's like to not have a home.
I have been in their situations before, and I have lived on the streets. I have known what it feels like to starve, and I've been in their situation, and it breaks my heart.
This first meal is just a stepping stone for what's to come.
Anytime that I can and I can get help from other people, I'm going to come down here and serve meals.
Because Hughes says this is her calling.
It devastated me, it really did, because I put 2 years of my life into that shelter. Since the day we opened, I've been there. I haven't got paid one dime. I didn't do it for that reason. The first week after I was there, I was like, man, this is what I'm supposed to do.
And the staff, always passionate to give back.
When you serve in the capacity that we have, you never lose the heart, no matter the circumstances.
Continuing to help, no matter what the cost. In Perry County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
The Vico Fire Department helped serve the meal and donated some of the food. The Hope House is shut down, but Ben Fugit tells us there are plans in the work for another facility. The newly renovated Corbin Elementary School was in full swing yesterday for their first day. The renovations to the Corbin School's traditional building started around December. Those renovations included fixing a leaking roof, renovating the inside of the school and gym, and closing a roadway by connecting the building with a walkway.
That was one of our biggest concerns, was the safety of our old schools, and now we're right there with any school in the state. So we're very excited about that.
Webb says the traditional building is the oldest in the school district. One group in Manchester is walking the walk. They are calling themselves Project Hope Manchester. It is people in the area who care about the city and want to see it thrive. They, along with help from jail inmates and Dismiss volunteers, work to restore storefronts, sidewalks, and the like.
Lots of ideas are coming in. What we're finding out is we're trying to take 2 or 3 projects at a time and really just focus on those, set a couple of goals, and work and accomplish those, and then move on to the next one.
The group is getting permission from landlords before working on the buildings.
Mild and muggy this morning. The possibility for some stronger storms later today. Let's take a look at those temperatures right now. 60s and 70s from 66 in Jonesville to 74 in Ashland, 69 here in Hazard, 73 Prestonsburg and Pikeville, 70 in London, 71 in Jackson. Dew points way up there right now. We're seeing those close to 70 in a lot of locations, which means it's sticky outside this morning, so you'll notice that first. Almanac 92 today is the forecast high, record of 95 back on this day in 83, and we see again the possibility for some of those stronger storms there on the app forecast, especially the later into the day we go. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. While football remains the most popular sport among Kentucky high school boys, participation in football is on the decline. We take a look at why in just a few.